Okay, all right. So today's topic is, or in the news, Universal Music asks streaming services to block AI access to its songs. Is AI technology a real threat to the music industry?
No.
You don't think so?
No, we talked about this yesterday, eliminating like sectors of the economy. And what did we say? That was going to be like the very, would not be able to do, was the creative.
Yeah. Well, but supposedly, I didn't know this until I read this article, but supposedly, they are working on AI services that can generate music, and then they say it's getting, so advanced to where, you can literally, because it has access to, the libraries of all these record, all these music studios and stuff like that, all these record companies, they have access, and then they can just compile songs and use the data and all that, so they can make a song that it sounds like a Taylor Swift song, but they can make it sound like it's sung by Maroon 5, and then they can even have a rapper that sounds like Eminem.
Yeah, and more than that, probably analyze say the top 50 songs of the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the commonalities in that. Oh, it does this, and it has the bridge, there's this chord progression, and make it sound like this artist who has 5 of the 50.
Yeah.
You're
Do you think
It'd be good.
removing the artist
Yeah.
from the
They already-
equation
but
wouldn't
they already-
affect anything?
One of these labels already tried to. They already had an AI
Mhm.
rapper. He had face tattoos and everything. He already had the look, and people rejected it immediately.
I think
Really?
music labels are only successful in spite of themselves. They
Yeah.
fought against everything that they don't. They fight against something and realize it's reality, and later on jump on board
Yeah.
every single time. They were against cassettes because you could record off the radio. Business
Yeah.
ruined. Yeah.
Mhm. They say they want something that is drawn up or something that protects actual artists like humans, something that protects them from the AI, and they want to make sure that things like iTunes or Apple Music and Spotify does not allow access to AI technology.
Just wanna protect
They
their
want to
revenue.
create they want to protect their, which it makes sense, but I think eventually they're going to be well, what if we just turn this around and we make the songs using this technology, and then we can make money off of it if we know how to make it better than anybody else. Because
How is it going to be better when you're taking the library that's already there, it already exists? The thing with music and how everything is new in every generation is because something different. You have a new
Kind of.
eye.
Yes, different, but I would argue that it's those influences. It's you could tell they were influenced by that a lot, and the evolution of
True.
stuff. So I would say it wouldn't be. I would think it would be all that different from that. Looking at existing stuff, pumping out kind of like it, and then as people's tastes evolve, and then it just kind of goes along with it. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know, because you're talking if you take 70s rock and 80s rock. I mean, yeah, there's similarities, but it's still different.
Yeah.
And if you're talking AI can only do what has been learned, how is it going to create something new?
Well, they can mix it. They can, because you got to think all music you hear today is just mixtures of different genres, just thrown in together in a different way.
Right, because you're human.
Right,
The human creativity.
but the thing
not
is,
a computer.
AI is getting pretty close to where it can generate what humans make.
See,
So
I'm going to disagree.
it sounds pretty the same.
Sure,
Have you heard
I'm
that
gonna-
AI rapper? It was dog water. It was.
I bet it was bad. I bet it was bad. They've already played in, as you know, they've already played around with it. There are some other songs out there they haven't released because they're just afraid of plagiarism and all the lawsuits and stuff like that can come with that. So
Because it's learned.
but I mean,
Right?
yeah, I don't know. I can definitely see where it's a threat.
I think if you take the human element out of something, you're
Yeah.
missing a whole part of the
Mhm.
creativity of it all. And I don't
Yeah.
think it's going to work well. I mean, yeah, that may
Mhm.
be mimicking something that might work.
Yeah.
But music always is constantly evolving because we do.
Mhm.
Well, I got a feeling if I were I don't know whose labels which megastars are on which label, but just thinking of big people. If I was at Universal and say Ed Sheeran or something like that, like a big name, you might not like him, but you agree he's a big name in music.
Yeah,
Right?
he's a big name.
Well, you know who he is.
You might
so
you might not
that's-
like
Yeah.
him, but you admit he's a player in music. Maybe even if you don't. What kind of person that can sell a stadium?
And he does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift better pick, or no, or worse.
Yeah, I'm just laughing.
Yeah.
at them both.
Okay.
I think they're both.
Okay, fair
It's just
enough.
not
All
his music. That's
right.
all.
So say whatever label, just if it's Universal, whatever, that's with Ed Sheeran, they're probably afraid of if you could AI analyze all the Ed Sheeran tracks, and then you're either competing label or like on SoundCloud to make things that sound they're different and unique, but you can tell are just like the popularity of those tracks.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what they're afraid of. Is what I would think.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Just
how would that?
mimicking what's there.
How would that stand though? You hear everything about rappers and hip hop music about stealing people's flow. That's a big
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
big no-no.
yeah.
You gotta
people
have
die
your-
over that.
Yeah.
Right?
And then who do you blame? Also, right? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I think
Who do you
it's a-
sue when you don't like what happens? The computer?
Yeah.
Whoever
Yeah,
generates.
Mhm.
Somebody has to own it, though, right?
Or be responsible? In theory, yes.
Because if it's human has to input something, somebody has to create it somewhere. Someone has to own something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think that's a tough question. I think that's what they're trying to figure out. And I think that's kind of the issue. Like, don't really know where we're headed with this AI technology. Like, it's just because we're still in the very early stages of it. You don't know what's going to become of it. You don't know how advanced it's going to get, and there's a lot of things that like they say like Google is working on their own AI music thing that they're thinking about rolling out to where you can just tell it to make you a song and it will make you a song. So, I don't know. I can see why they would want protection. Better to get it now before it's too late. I think they should take it seriously, in my opinion.
I think it's a fair argument.
But I don't know. I definitely think it's a threat. Now, me as someone that enjoys listening to music, I would rather hear an actual artist make it and stuff like that. That's what I prefer.
Which I think is going to be the society pushback.
Mm-hmm. I know.
We're not going to stand if you don't like it.
Yeah.
We're not.
And
It's
as
not
far
going to
as-
go anywhere.
Performances, that's a big part of
Yeah.
it, like touring and the
That
performance aspect.
That is
a
true.
large part of it. And
Right,
who knows
yeah.
what
That is
happens
true.
with
Yeah.
that.
You're going to go watch a hologram?
Yeah, as a robot, just gonna be on.
Wasn't that on a Black Mirror episode?
Oh, yeah, with Miley?
Yeah, the Miley
Oh,
Cyrus
yeah.
one. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, didn't she die or something? Spoiler alert, she died or something. And like,
That's
oh,
right.
we're just going to hologram her on the stage. We can be 10
Yeah.
places at once.
Yeah,
Great.
she was like in a coma or something.
Yes,
like
it
that, right?
was, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe that's, if I had that ability, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, because I can see where say you're an up and coming artist or whatever, and you don't really know how to play instruments, but you know how to sing.
That's all the time.
Say AI,
Pretty common.
That's
make
pretty-
me a beat. Make me a beat that sounds like it's straight from a Drake song, and then
That's
make
true.
make it sound original. And then now that you have that, like that's all you need, and now you can all you have to do is just rap over it.
And I
Like,
think that's where the plagiarism is going to come in. Though.
Yeah.
Like, how can you do that
yeah,
if it's taking from a catalog that's already exists? That's where the creativity
That's
is
already
human.
happening, though.
Yeah, that
and then
does.
there's
That's what
laws
I'm
against
saying.
it, and we
Yeah.
can't
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
true.
yeah,
But so you can't just
You're
plug
right.
in saying,
Yes.
"Oh, make me a song that sounds like Drake, but make it slightly different." No,
yeah.
they take that stuff down to 1/16 beat.
Yeah, that makes me wonder if artists will start clearing their samples. Because a lot of them, there's a lot of artists that don't clear samples a lot or whatever, and there are some that are like, yeah, we'll clear samples, we don't care. As long as we get a little bit percentage out of it, we don't care. Like you hear that a lot. I wonder if this is going to make them want to clear more samples just so they get something.
Have you guys heard, it's been making the news lately again, Puff Daddy? You've heard of him, Josh? Is he,
Yes.
can I
Is he called
talk
Puff
about it?
Daddy?
Whatever he's
Is
called
that his
now,
name?
anyway.
Oh,
What
P.
is his
Diddy.
In
name?
1997, yeah, P. Diddy.
What's it? Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name
Where-
is.
where
at
it's
the
going.
moment.
Yeah.
That particular artist. But in 97, when Biggie died, the album
Mhm.
Missing You, that I guess was an unlicensed cover of the Sting song.
Mm.
So
Mhm.
since 1997, has been paying Sting $5,000 per day.
Per day.
Per day.
Yeah.
Per day.
Holy
And both
smokes.
admitted.
Yeah, well, it's like
That's the celebrity world.
Like-
It's
That's
interesting
an
to put that in context.
insane
Yeah.
That's
song.
26
Yeah.
years ago.
yeah.
Jeez.
Well, there's
A lot of
that.
days.
There's there's a movie where Vanilla Ice, he makes a joke because they're listening to the Ice Ice Baby, and they're like, "Oh man, you must make a fortune from this song." He's like, "I've never made a dime from this song." He's like, "I owe money when they play this
He
song."
sold it away to Suge Knight because he was shaking over the side of a hotel balcony.
Mhm.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why they make any money off of it. Like Aerosmith, they have to pay. They lose money every time they play the Dream On.
Oh,
They were in a
really?
really bad contract at the time.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that
But
one.
all the time, like artists that are broke because of the contracts they get
Yeah.
in when
That's
they're
the
when
ones-
they're young and
Yeah.
green.
That's the 1/16th beat, by the way.
Oh. Oh, isn't that the argument that he makes? The
Yeah.
It
one-
sounds just like under
Yeah.
pressure.
Oh yeah, but there's like 1/16th of an
And the
extra
interview
beat
was like
That makes it different.
that makes it different.
Mhm.
That allowed him to keep that song.
Yeah, Neil had said one time because like I guess it's producing. You see that side a lot. It's like there's 12 notes.
Yeah.
How many orders can they be in?
Yeah. Right.
There aren't that many ways you can arrange them.
Yeah. I don't know. I can just see where artists were like, okay, maybe you should make it easy to get your samples cleared because rather than just go the other way around, like, okay, if you don't clear your sample, we're just going to have an AI system create a beat like that sounds like yours, and I'll use that
Yeah.
Just
instead.
copyright their
You
sample.
know, we'll do one just like
Yeah,
that for free.
you either work with us or we'll work around it. But like, if I'm the artist, I'm like, I'd rather get something better than nothing, or have it play out in the courts forever.
Or it'll totally change, and when the samples belong to whoever created it,
Yeah.
and you can't do anything else. Honestly, that's probably like the easiest solution
Yeah,
is change the conversation,
yeah. I
change
think
the wording.
The business of
I
music
agree.
is fascinating. Like
It
Taylor
really
Swift
is.
recorded her originals because like the originals were owned by somebody she didn't like and all this. So
Yeah.
you record exact same song, but record it again. So then physical copy, you own that copy.
Mhm.
Expect everyone to play that one instead.
Remastered. That's
Or
what
remastered.
they always say. Listen to Taylor's version.
Yeah,
Taylor's
That's the
version.
one. Mhm.
Oh yeah, no, like
And they're
when
almost similar.
let's say when it comes on in the club, they're like, "Is this Taylor's version or not?"
Yeah.
I don't know. It is interesting, especially they don't even make that much money from the streaming.
Industry run by lawyers.
Yeah,
I always think it's interesting when they sell their entire catalog.
Mhm.
When artists do that. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's like Future just sold like his entire catalog for like $100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's like 40, so he's like, okay,
it's just bizarre to me that's what.
that's $100 million.
Well, I know, but I
And it's
don't.
a time, right?
yeah.
Now because all the like venture capitalist funds and all
Yeah.
the big businesses like this is going to be worth twice this in 50 years from now. Just pay somebody a big lump sum. Now it's like sports teams, right? They just skyrocket in value.
Mhm.
Catalogs are having like a moment in time right now. People think they're going to be worth a whole lot more a generation from now.
It's weird. It's interesting.
But I don't know. I'm saying I think AI in some way or another is probably a threat to the. At least I think they should at least treat it as a threat because I'd rather them do something now than wait till it's too late. Because I feel like that's kind of what happened with like Napster and all that. Like because Napster and Kuza and all those those
LimeWire.
LimeWire and stuff. That stuff was going on for a while before the music studios were like,
Where are they at now, though?
maybe we need to start our own streaming stuff. Or like,
Yeah, but where are they at now?
well,
Dissolved.
now we have Spotify, but how long did it take
And
for
artists
them?
complain about that too.
But how long did it
Because there's
take?
a lot of them that
how-
still aren't on there.
Mhm.
Yeah, how long did it take for them to realize that though?
I don't know. Yeah.
It took them a long time, so maybe they should be trying to avoid that this time around.
Yeah, kind of lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Alright.
think the AI music overall. I don't think it'll be the same. Ever.
Yeah.
I'd give it a shot. A fair chance.
Maybe in 50 years,
50
when
years.
we're already half robots. I don't know.
Josh, you have anything?
No,
Yeah.
I just think AI's it doesn't interest me. Like I don't really
Mm-hmm.
care to use it. So
Yeah.
I think the music people have a fair argument.
All right. Well, there we have it.